Let's talk all about AI in business. It's hosted by Brent Muller. Welcome to the Future Proof Podcast.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Future Proof Podcast. I'm your host, Brent Muller, and I'm joined today by René Rodriguez from Speaking Roses. René, great to have you today.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the invite. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, and I think as everyone listening is going to see, René has a passion for this industry like no one I've seen, and I think it's gonna be really fun talk. So, René, why don't we start off with just telling a little bit about your journey and how you got to where you are today?
Sure, absolutely. Well, I'm originally from Chile. That's why I have this kind of cool accent, not because I read Harry Potter or anything like that. But I studied in the United States when I was younger, and I've been an entrepreneur all my life. You know, I started my journey as an entrepreneur. I remember working with my dad. He was an entrepreneur. He had many different businesses, and he always took me to clean the warehouse, work with the sales guy, help with the trucks. I mean, all the stuff that related to maintenance.
On in the business, right? Yeah.
So one day somebody came over, and one of his business was a transportation company. So one day somebody want to buy these old tires that they have in the warehouse. So I went to ask my dad. I said, like, hey, what are you doing with those old tires? There's a guy that actually wants them. And he said, well, sell it to them. So I thought, okay, well, and I said, hey, do you want to buy them? He said, sure. So he gave me some money. And I thought, why do you need those tires for? He said, well, I refurbish them for people that can't afford new tires. And I thought, so if I give you more tires, will you want them? He said, absolutely. So then I knew where all the guys around it, where we were, that I can go and collect the tires. And I was collecting tires every week, and the guy came over, and that's my first business, selling old tires. And I learned about the refurbished business. So from there on, I jump into a lot of different type of businesses. I even rent tandem bikes. I brought it to Chile. I was the first guy bring tandem bikes to Chile and to the resorts and to start renting them. And then I have many locations. I sold the middle side of the bikes. I sold it to companies that they want to promote people driving around the city.
Right, the branding, right.
To the branding, yes. And with that, I paid that money back to my mom, because that's the way how I branded, right? And then after that, I've done a lot of different things. So at one moment, I have a promotional product company and an advertising agency that we provide services to companies. And that's how the journey started. You know, that's how I end up in the United States after, you know, ending up owning an agency and a promotional product company.
Right. So fast forward now, right? You're in Idaho, right?
In Utah. I'm in Utah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And how did that translate over from the agency and the promotional company to Speaking Roses?
Well, that's a very fun story, actually. So one day I got the JCPenney came to us. We were very disruptors into coming up with ideas for mailers and promotional products and things like that. So one day JCPenney came to us and he said, René, listen, we need something very unique that people will remember the first day of the grand opening. What do you have? So we started thinking about it, and we thought, hey, I got a product for you. So we figured out how to, because I have a promotional product also, so we did a lot of printing. So we start printing on a petal of a rose. Let me share my screen here so you can kind of see.
Yeah, please do.
This will probably give you a better graphic understanding of that. And screen. So I'm going to share my screen here, and you tell me if you can see it here.
Yeah, can see it. Great.
Okay. So we realized that printing on the petal of a rose with the logo JCPenney saying, thank you for coming, or you're special, I can't remember exactly. We give it as a sample to the JCPenney team, and they went nuts. They thought, oh my gosh, nobody's going to throw this away, and they're going to have it for at least 10 days in their house. That's exactly what we wanted to do. So they bought me these roses. They bought me a lot of flowers, a lot of flowers for the week of their grand opening. And the following week, I got a call from the lady in Nestlé. So she said, listen, I spend millions of dollars in trying to get to the attention of every mom in every house, radios, billboards, TV, etc. And here I am with a simple rose. My whole family talks about it every day about it. And then I thought, why did I use this one instead of trying to spend so much money to get to every mom?
Right.
Is there any way you can provide me the service so we can give it away to every mom in the supermarket? I said, absolutely. So then Nestle, we start working with Nestle. And then, for every new product that they launch, they start selling, they're giving away our Speaking Roses, right? Because we can print anything on the flowers, whatever, every
Right.
logo, any picture, we can do whatever. And then from there on is where the story starts. Because I realized that grand openings, business cards, car dealers, launching new products, companies recognizing employees, taking care of their customers. So I thought, wow, my wife was from Idaho and we live in Chile at that moment. So I told her, it's like, hey, this thing is bigger than I thought it was. So let's just pack it. So I sold all my other businesses that I have and I literally shift 100%. I moved back to the United States. I studied here when I was young too.
Right.
And that's how we started Speaking Roses. That's how the journey started until, it's been a great journey.
So tell everybody, right, how quickly you took off and how many rose stems you were selling a day.
Well, so when I started here, nobody knew anything about flowers. And
Right.
when you tell somebody a rose with a printing on it, it's like, what are you talking about? It's so disruptive that people cannot comprehend how cool it looks like. And they don't also comprehend the emotional impact that it creates. Well, think about this. When somebody gives you a greeting card and a piece of note of paper, it's not about the paper. It's not even by the design. It's about what the message is on that
The
paper.
message, right. Exactly.
Makes you feel good, right? For the giver and the receiver. Exchange that same feelings, but now the vehicle is a rose. You can improve Mother Nature, but when you add that touch of emotions of a human, somehow it's magical. It is incredibly magical. So this is what happened. So I moved to the United States and I knew, so we opened Speaking Roses. We started selling flowers online. And then we decided that, hey, if I can sell this in Chile to companies, I can sell this to companies in the United States. So we went to the biggest trade show promotional product in the world. That is in Las Vegas. The promotional product industry is over a $20 billion industry, and they sell mugs and pens.
I know companies that go to that every year. Yeah, totally get it.
So that product, it's massive, right? Well, guess what? Nobody have ever done flowers with logos on the flowers. So we went there.
I had never seen it before. Yeah.
We got awarded the #1 product in the entire show. So you understand, this is like winning the Oscar in the movie industry.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when that happened, this is when my problem started. Now you can think like, why is the problem? Well,
every entrepreneur, right?
Right. Well, let me share with you this little video here, and I will give you a summary. So what happened is every TV show, magazine, Inc. magazine, Forbes magazine, start offering our product. We even got a call from Disney. Hey, can you guys produce Disney products? Absolutely. We were doing over 100 orders a week with Disney alone, right? And then we got all these brands like Elvis Presley. So imagine all the schools and brands and products that people wanted their logos on it. It was very, very overwhelming because we were in Good Morning America. We were in the Kentucky Derby. We were in CNBC. We were in the Grammys. We were in the Oscar nominations. We were chosen the #1 product in entertainment television. So this was the early days of our company here.
Right.
To the point that we even have Tom Cruise. This is Tom Cruise right here, guys. This is Tom Cruise giving our flowers in the Ellen Show. He said, these are Speaking Roses, and every lady received Happy Mother's Day from Tom Cruise himself, giving it to every single lady. Well, when this happened, then I'm going to stop sharing this for a second here. When this happened, my goodness, we were producing up to 60,000 stems of roses a day.
A day.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can comprehend that, but printing the logistics, it was...
That was the next question is, how did you even fulfill on that, right? It means you got to grow them, you got to... Yeah.
Well, we have a very good network in Miami and Chicago with a few companies that they provide the flowers for these huge companies, supermarket chains, that we cut a deal where we can do the production. And it was fantastic. It was phenomenal. So we have to spread out our production in multiple different places. But the lesson that we learned is that dealing with fresh flowers and selling those big, large orders to companies and corporations and having an online business, it kind of messed up the model, because you need to, in flowers, it's not like you said, hey, I'm just going to sell 10,000 today and 100,000 tomorrow.
Right.
Well, you can't. You have to predict your sales. You have to
based on the inventory you can produce, and totally get
right.
it.
And then you have to storage that, and then the clock's ticking. Once the rose is cut, the clock's ticking. So anyway, so we learned so many lessons that we have to deal with. For example, if you got a big event, and if I ship you the roses, you just want to pass the roses around, or you just want to have the centerpiece, or you want to have something, but you don't want to have to deal with taking the flowers, put them in water, dealing with all that extra logistics that you already have your event. So if I send it to you the same day and the truck driver missed the deadline of the event and they give it to you in the afternoon and it's a $50,000 order, what do you do? So we learned that our model wasn't scalable to get to where we wanted to be. So very quick.
So elaborate on what, go ahead. Dive deep on how you're going to do that.
Right. So we learned that in reality is we got a great model, but we have a broken model. So we have to
great product. Need a different model. Right.
Different model. So with this model, and there's a lot, of course, it's a lot more between the lines, that there's a lot more details into it, of course. But so with that model, I realized, I went back to my partner and I said, listen, the way to do this, I think, is we need to licensing this deal. He said, what do you mean? Well, I said, I always wondered in the United States, I love the way how Americans, they have these subscription models that there's phenomenal. He said, well, what are you thinking? Well, we have a photocopy machine that we play every month. So I thought, what about if we license our technology? We grab it, we package it, we license it to people that want to be part of the business. Because there's a lot of florists, wholesalers, event planners, gift shops, entrepreneurs, moms and dads that want to start a business somehow. And what happens if we package it, we show them how to do it, and we let them go rip their own local area for funerals and weddings and nonprofits and all that opportunity. And we just focus into that one thing, and we get a royalty and we support it. And, well, we did that, and it went fantastic. We literally went like this. We sold over 30 countries, literally, this model. Okay. We went like that. But we learned also that this model also wasn't the model that it's going to take us to become what our dream were, right? And let me tell you why.
Yeah, elaborate on that, right? Because many people would love that shift to a licensing model, right?
Absolutely. But I also learned, I become an expert in international.
But wait, there's more.
There's
right,
more,
ahead,
right?
René.
So if anybody wants advice in international business and licensing, call me. I would love to help you. I become an expert into that. So here's what I learned. I learned when I sold it to Susie and to Julie and to Peter and to Paul, they all have my licensing agreement deal, but they have to build their own brand because it's not a franchise. It's you're licensing me the technology.
Right. This is not a Starbucks, right? This is,
It is not Starbucks.
This is the flower shop, the event planner building it into their model, right? But they all have different brands.
That is correct. They all have different brands. Well, now they have different strategy, different product, different pictures, different approach, different. So I am now depending on everybody else to run my model, right?
Exactly. So your licensing deal is more of a reseller model than it is a branded model, right? Or franchise model. Got it.
That is correct. So the model works really good. We did very, very good, but we got stuck. I could not break it to the next level. And I thought, why? How? What am I doing wrong? And then COVID hit me, and well, you know what happened. Nobody wanted to start a flower business.
Right.
So I went back to my partner again, and I said, listen, I think it's time to go to create a worldwide model. We know how to sell it. We know how to replicate it. Now I have the third phase, what is called the land grab. That means now is the worldwide brand. And he said, what do you have in mind now, René? I said, listen to me. So I'm going to share my screen over here. Is that okay?
Yeah. Now you have to show them how you've changed the product to be able to do this. Yes.
Right. So I'm going to show, this is a fascinating story. So first of all, I went back to my partner and I said, listen, I want you to think about what is our product. what really is our product? I said, I want you to understand the analogy that I'm going to do here. Think about paper. Paper is an industry, but unless you package the paper in a format and print it in a format and market it in a format, it's just paper. But if you do it right, well, guess what? Many industries were built like magazines, like books, like greeting cards, like wrapping paper, like trifles, like marketing. I mean, so many industries were born because somebody created raw material that is paper. I said, in a sense,
I'm following.
we're doing exactly the same thing. We're doing exactly the same thing, but now the raw material is the rose. So the rose is the raw material, and the printing is defining the industry. Why? Because we test it as a promotional product and it works. We test it as a souvenir and it works. We test it as a licensing brand and it works. We test it as a web. So we test it in all these industries and they don't work. The problem is that fresh, we understand our problem with that. And then two, we understood that at the licensing model, we understood the challenges of that. So I said, How do we do it? I said, well, this is how we will approach number 3. I said, first, we need to understand the problem. I said, the industry is run by companies that they're great designers, beautiful arrangement, but they don't have to be creative in the arrangement side, and they have to compete with price because the margins are low. It's mostly stand in the mom and pop shops, and the big players, they're more into kind of like the distribution, but they're all playing for the same space, right? Flowers. And I said, think about this. Why is Nike become a brand that is above everybody else? Because they strategize and they become something that nobody else identify. They break to the model of shoes or sports shoes, and they become a lifestyle. What happened with Rolex?
Just do it, right? Just do it.
Just do it. What happened with Rolex and Starbucks and McDonald's? They all become brands because of the strategy and how they were perceived by the consumer. I said, can you name me a brand that is in the flower industry worldwide that people want to wear in their hat, in their shirt, or somewhere? You cannot. How is it possible that the oldest industry in the world, I believe it is the oldest because Adam, I think, was giving flowers to Eve in the Garden of Eden.
I love it.
Story.
Yeah, you know what? You have a good point.
Right. So some people say, well, no, it was fruits because, fruits were it's like, well,
yeah,
let's make it more romantic. It's flowers, right?
Yes, exactly.
So I believe there's not a brand. So I thought this company here that we all know that they sell fruits, they become a really large company. And according to the numbers and research that we did, this is what they do per year. I mean, this is pretty dang good. So
that's really good.
In order for us to do that, we have to rebrand ourselves. We have to start from scratch. So we literally went back to the board and we created a new brand. And if you look at our brand, there's a diamond, there's a that is above the top of the rose, and the rose the top of an S and an R that they look like leaves. So that's our new logo. So it's a look a lot more sophisticated. But why a diamond? And you will see why. I'm going to share this video with you. So we got to deal with the best farms in the world about flowers, growing flowers. And the diamond is because we consider the rose as a diamond. Why? Because the diamond, when it's unearthed, a jeweler takes this diamond, works on the diamond, and place it into a beautiful packaging.
Yeah.
Right? And then they package it for a bracelet, an earring, or a necklace, and somebody buy for life a special event. Well, these roses that we grow, every single one of them are manually checked, manually taken care of, manually cut, and then manually processed and brought into production. And here's the magic.
Here's the magic. Yes.
Right. We process every single one of these roses, and one by one, so now they're preserved. What does that mean? That these roses, they look, they smell, they touch, they feel real roses. But now they're preserved. What does that mean?
So they're not perishable anymore, right?
Perishable anymore, but they still have the beauty of the roses. But now we package it because the clock is not ticking. So I'm gonna stop the screen for a second here so I can kind of show you something. Let me share here. For example, this is one of our roses here, and I don't know if you can see good, but look at what I touch it. How are the feeling of the roses?
Yeah, and it goes right back to form. That's amazing.
Yeah. So these are not paper roses. These are not silk. These are real roses. And they smell phenomenal, right? And so what we do now is we package it in a way that I'm going to go back to share my screen because I want you to see the packaging here. So there you go. So now we package it in ways that people have never seen it before. You can have a rose that is so powerful now that you can send somebody, will you marry me, Susie?
Yeah. So René, what you're doing though, if you think about it, right? Everybody that I talk to that does packaging for e-com products or whatever, they're trying to recreate the Apple experience, right? Which is when you get an Apple product, the packaging is half of the experience. This takes it to that same level.
You got it. So you become an experience. So when people really start understanding that this is a lot of work. This is very, very intensive work that we put into every single rose. So we package it, and we have long stem packaging, short stem packaging, only the heads, and then we have just even petals. So here I'm going to show you some of this product. So imagine you would say something like that, well, will you marry me? Happy anniversary. I'm very, very sorry. And then gender revealing. It's a girl. It's a boy. Thank you. And we believe that flowers are not for women anymore. We believe flowers are for humans. I mean, I remember the first time I received flowers, and I thought, this is so classy.
It's very classy.
I mean, I'm very mentally kind of guy, right? I mean, I'm very probably Latino, macho kind of stuff. But I remember when I received flowers, and I felt so special about it. So I thought, wow. And then customers have received flowers. They said, René, I had a girlfriend that sent me these flowers. I am the president of this large corporation. They brought the flowers all the way to my floor, and I opened it, and they saw the messages, and I literally got emotional. He said, every man should be receiving flowers.
Well, and the reason is because the message that's on it. You're right. It's a cool delivery mechanism, but you're right. It's the messaging.
That is correct. So because of the message is correct, now the packaging is even better. So we can package these flowers in ways that most people have never seen it before. So imagine you can, so people can buy one, they can buy 20, 100, and multiple different packages. You know, you can buy something for literally $40 and they go all the way to $500 if you depend on how much love do you have, right?
Right.
I mean,
right.
You can buy petals. So if you want to have a special moment, like will you marry me? You can buy 25 petals in a beautiful packaging deal and sprinkle into the table for a dinner. Says, I just want to see your smile today. Or I just want to tell you that I love you. Or I just want to say thank you for all you do. I mean, whatever the message is, you can make it very special, right?
Yeah.
So with our product, we target companies, individuals, and here's a very fun one. Before I show that other picture, most of Americans knows that the bald eagle is the national bird. But what they don't know is that the national flower is the rose. So
yeah, I just found that out.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting, right? So Ronald Reagan actually declared the national flower to be the rose, right? And now the rose is the national flower. So every single one of these roses, this is a collectible item that we created, and these roses are real. So we insert red petals, and then we dye some petals blue, and then we paint it to make it look like a star. And this is a collectible item. You know,
fantastic.
Americans, they can't have bald eagle in their house, but they can have a rose if they're really patriotic, right?
A red, white, and blue rose too.
Exactly, a collectible item. So we can do things for companies with their corporate logos, their corporate events, soccer teams, NFL teams. So we are literally can create all this line of products. So our model works with many industries, like funeral industry. Every funeral home should have our products so people can buy it. We already tested, prove it. They want to have it.
Yeah. And they last. They're not perishable. So it's phenomenal.
They're not perishable, right? And then they can buy it so they can make the arrangements more last and so they can keep memories. I mean, everybody that have a funeral with their logos or the picture of the name of the grandma or grandpa, they want to keep it. Well, this is what we do. We find ways in how to keep all this. So we found different niches, different market that's why we create a model that it works with everybody. Now we sell online, but we also work with distributors. You want to become one of our distributors? Yeah, we have an option for you. You want to become an
So now you
affiliate?
give, but yes.
Yeah, you want to become an affiliate? Yep, we got a model for you. So whatever model you bring, you want to buy exclusive rights to a country. So you want to take our model to a different country. We got a model for you. So now we're on a mission to create a worldwide brand through our model and strategy. And this is the feeling that, I want you to feel and see if you can really feel the message here. But that going home, there's petals that says congratulations on it. He opened this and there's a message.
That's phenomenal. The gender reveal.
Gender reveal. Right?
Very cool.
Now that rose will stay with that. I mean, you can even put the date on it forever, right?
Yeah.
So our model, it's all about the concept of, and this is a very cool one too. So you know how when you open a gift, you have to unwrap it. When you open a greeting card, you have to taking it out, open it, and read it. Well, we thought about that, and we come up with a concept called the pull and bloom. Watch it. So the girl was doing here. The roses are below. You can see here the roses are below the boxing, but there's two ribbons. Well, we call this the pull and bloom collection. The pull and bloom collection is you pull it and they bloom it. And now you can see the message. Will you marry me? I love you. I'm sorry. Whatever. Right?
Yeah.
So this is
very cool.
Is that we do. And this one is actually very cool too, because you can create memories for events, for a special event with petals. And now you can grab those petals and your wife, your loved one can keep them forever and then reuse them, right? I mean, you can, depending on the occasion, you can be reusing these petals that I love you, I'm sorry. There's a lot of guys that they might need this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of us that need that. That's fantastic.
Right?
Yeah.
You said packages, save it for next time.
Yeah. What wife wouldn't love that? So René, your story is amazing. I love it. So what challenges do you see in growing that global brand? Where do you see the obstacles, and where do you see? I mean, the opportunity is tremendous, right?
Yeah, the opportunity is tremendous. So what happened is, in the phase 1 versus phase 2, we learn a lot, right? In phase 2, we self-funded. We never did anything. We went to the moon and we cash flow in 30 days and we did very good. Well, with this model, it required a lot more funding and it required a lot more energy. So I'm bringing all the strategic partners, strategic guys that they know their industries. One thing that I did learn is that I don't care about my opinion. I just care about people's experience. And because this new model of online marketing, affiliate models, distribution, there's a lot of those things that I personally am not an expert. So I'm bringing those right partners right now. I'm in that process, just bringing the right guys, the right partners, people that want to buy the country from different areas. So I'm putting the team together so we can go to the next level, right?
Yeah.
Bringing the right investors. There's investment opportunities still available. There's distributor opportunities, very open. So all this is in the process of going now because we just launched our website not too long ago. We're fixing all the bugs and taking the right. I mean, all this is called the land grab model. But I'd rather go slower so I can go faster, right?
Yeah.
So I learned a lesson already. Before it's all about speed and fast and go everything. Now, I can go a little slower, but create bigger foundations so I can go faster in the growth. So
I get that. So as you look across the next couple of years, right? And you see how AI is coming into the space, how automation is coming into space, how does that help you accelerate? Oh, and do you see any challenges there?
No, actually, that's all because now, so if you saw those videos, it kind of give you a little bit of a glimpse of what the application of the product is. Yeah. I am not in the flower business. I don't sell flowers. What I sell is I sell that experience, that moment that you want to touch somebody's life and they can remember that for the rest of their life. That's what the business I am in. I'm in the business of experience and I have a product that nobody else can do. I have a product that is untouchable, that you combine that element of the message with the packaging and at the moment, I'm all here to create experiences. And
you're disrupting an industry.
For people and for companies and for events, that's what I do. That's what the business is. And that's why I'm bringing the right people to be part of this land grab concept worldwide.
Yeah. So, and I love how you flipped the model that the raw materials, the rose, especially now that you've made it non-perishable, right? And so you're basically, a new, different type of homework.
That's why our slogan is "Speaking Roses, the new way of expressions."
Yes. Yes.
So we're just a new way of communication. We guarantee an emotional response. That's basically what.
So where do you see your biggest hurdle? Is it in people? Is it in partnerships? Is it in eyeballs and attention?
Honestly, I think it's going to be because once you go like this, then usually go like this.
Yeah, the hockey stick, yes.
Right. So what I'm overseeing, but I learned already in the past, so I have a lot of experience in the growth, right?
Right.
My biggest challenge is going to be managing the growth with the right people.
Yeah.
And in order for me to do that, I am really focusing in my foundation very, very well so. So I think, for example, we're working with a software company that is going to help affiliates. So these affiliates can bring me a lot of influencers.
A lot of influence, yes.
Right? So if the influencers share this concept, they will be making money, or they could make money, not just from the guy that is buy here, but if this guy buy here and share with his mom and friends, he will make money for everybody that he
You have the multi-tiered affiliate model, right?
So I have a multi-tier affiliate model that I wanted to do it that way so it can become a viral machine, right? So
absolutely.
I will go like this, and then eventually it's going to go like that. So I need to be very, focused, ready into that. So, in a sense, I want to change the whole worldwide industry because it's not just flowers, but I'm going to share something with you here. Right? Look at this. This right here, it's a real corsage.
Got it. But it's not perishable, right? That's what you're going to tell me.
Perishable. And this is all real. 100%. Everything here is real. So
I was just going to say, just the wedding industry alone, you should be able to.
Right. So imagine bouquet arrangements that they last forever. And the
centerpieces, right?
Centerpieces, decoration. So our vision, it's very broad. That I imagine a Tiffany store look and feel, but with flowers. And that store, we want to have one in every major city around the world.
I love it. I love it.
All New York, that's our vision. And it's creating a new form of expressions to this luxury packaging style that's
affordable for everybody.
Right. So the printing is the key to open the door. I mean, you can buy it without printing if you want to. I don't care.
Right.
We just open into this new form of branding and expressing people in a whole different level.
Yeah. I get it. I think you're onto something really big. So tell me, I always ask at the end of the podcast, every business owner, every founder, right, every entrepreneur that is looking to fix, right? So you've told me all the opportunities, which is phenomenal. And I think you're onto something really big, René. If you could fix one thing in your business in 2025, on what phase you're in now, right? And you could wave a magic wand and have that thing fixed, what would that one big thing that you're focused on in 2025 be?
If I can focus on only one thing?
And fix one thing, one major thing that you think would help accelerate you or help really, drive the business forward.
I will say refine my my website. So refine my website to bring somebody that is so expert into that. I hate learning from my own mistakes. I just hate it. So
that's why you bring experts in. Yes.
That's why I want to have an expert that really, really knows. But there's a lot of experts, right? So just find that person that once that's going, everything falls into place. Marketing, boom, go to the moon.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. René, your passion is infectious. I love it. I can't wait to do a follow-up with you down the road here later this year and see how all that's coming together. But just for the people that really want to get these roses, I know we'll link everything below the podcast when it goes up. But René, can you just tell them a little bit about Speaking Roses and how they get in touch with you if they want to be a distributor, affiliate?
Yeah, they can literally email me at René at speakingroses.com. It's RENE at speakingroses.com. Just like you and I.
And we'll have that email below.
Roses.com. And go to speakingroses.com. And then, we'd love to jump into a Zoom call for all the opportunities that we have available, territories, distribution, affiliate models, partnerships, distractives. There's some guys that want to buy exclusive right for industries. There's people asking me if I'm willing to sell it. Some people want to invest. All those above, they're open. So just send me an email. Let's jump into a Zoom. Let's see how we can work together. It's a big industry. And I know there's a lot of opportunity for anybody else want to be part of it.
Huge opportunity. Well, René, thank you for spending time with us today. For everybody listening, you're gonna love to use René's products. And if you're thinking on the affiliate side or the distributor side, or someone, we'll have all kinds of links here for you to get in touch with René and his team. So René, thank you so much for being a guest today. And this has been eye-opening. Love it.
Well, thank you for having me in your podcast. And I appreciate you taking the time. This is very kind of you.
Yeah. Would love to have you. You've been great. So thank you again. And hey, for till the next episode, we'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.
If you're ready to embrace change and lead with innovation, be sure to subscribe and never miss an episode. Thanks for tuning in to the Future Proof Podcast.